Hello, friends. Welcome back to a fresh, kind start to your week. This is our Good News Roundup for the week of July 13th, issue number 4, and we've got a table full of small joys and big wins.
And to open with something delightfully human, a simple, sparkling moment. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce showed their wedding rings in public for the first time. They were photographed at former NFL receiver Juju Smith-Schuster's wedding in Orange County.
It's that everyday sweetness we love, right? A wedding where the newlyweds show up to celebrate another wedding. It's like a friendship bracelet for adulthood. Tasteful, circular, and everyone smiles.
Not the first time a ring has upstaged a tux, but yes, pleasant to see two people enjoying a milestone without turning it into a parade. Just a real-life, hey, we did it, captured in a few photos.
And I love that it happened in such a normal setting. No red carpet, just a friend's big day and a couple of quiet gleams. May all happy news be this simple.
Approved. And for anyone who managed to dodge the photos, the headlines were clear, the rings were obvious, and the vibe was low-key celebration.
Okay, we're warmed up. Love, friendship, cake, we can all work with that. Let's roll into kindness and everyday good deeds. Speaking of kindness, Taylor Swift made news on another front, covering police overtime. Reports say she paid $160,000 in police overtime tied to wedding-related events at Madison Square Garden.
That's right. Coverage noted permits for a multi-day event at the Garden, and earlier chatter mentioned possible big-name performers. Those performer bits were reported as possibilities, not confirmations. The solid point here is the overtime bill being picked up, directly helpful for the city and the staff tasked with keeping things orderly.
It's one of those grown-up gestures that aren't glamorous, but matter. Big city events lean on a lot of people, and picking up the tab for extra hours is a very practical way to say thank you.
Practical, measurable, done. I'll take that over confetti any day.
You would. But confetti and good budgets can happily coexist, Jack. The theme is simple. When celebrations spill into city life, it's nice to see someone make sure the extra hands get paid without drama.
And without anyone passing a hat. Quiet logistics win the day.
On to technology that helps real people. Fire season has a little more early warning coming. Muon Space is set to launch 3 FireSat satellites from Vandenberg Space Force Base, designed to boost wildfire detection.
The reporting said these satellites will provide high-resolution thermal imaging, able to spot fires as small as roughly 16 feet and distinguish smoldering from active flames. If that capability works as described, it could speed up response times.
That's the kind of space tool that turns into human calm on the ground. Imagine firefighters getting a ping before smoke ever reaches a road, or a park ranger catching a smolder early.
The phrase "set to launch" matters. We're talking about an upcoming deployment. The intent is clear. The payoff, if it performs, is faster, smarter firefighting.
Meanwhile, a tiny first in orbit. City Labs flew the first commercial nuclear-powered CubeSat, their Bohr satellite, on a SpaceX rideshare. It uses a tritium beta-voltaic battery, and it had the needed launch approval to go up.
A small satellite drawing steady power for a long time is interesting. For certain instruments, it removes the "my battery hates eclipses" problem. It's a milestone, and we'll see what follow-ons it inspires.
And a bit closer to Earth, but still tech that touches travel, researchers tried a straightforward idea to keep airline reservation agents built on large models from quietly breaking rules. They added what they called deterministic read-only pre-execution gates, think hard guardrails, and found that most failures came from silent state changes. With those gates, those silent policy violations dropped.
Right. It's a study scoped to an airline reservation setting. The gist: add simple, hard checks before an action, and you catch a lot of quiet mistakes. It's not a magic fix for every system, but it's pragmatic design. If your agent can't quietly change a booking without passing a gate, you avoid hidden messes.
Fewer hidden messes in travel? That's the dream. Fewer, surprise, your seat is gone. Fewer, why did you move my connection to a city I can't pronounce? I'll take the gates.
as will anyone who's been stranded at 1 a.m.
Let's tiptoe into science, slowly and simply. First up, a new super-Earth, designated GJ251c, orbiting a red dwarf about 18 light-years away. Astronomers placed it in the star's habitable zone.
The phrase potentially habitable means the conditions might allow liquid water. Not that anyone has found oceans or life, but being in that temperate ring is a promising start, and it gives future telescopes a target.
I like to picture it as a pin on a cosmic map that says, worth a closer look. And meanwhile, the Euclid Space Telescope helped researchers identify 31 quasars, including 2 that are the most distant ever observed.
Those 2 date to when the universe was roughly 670 million years old, which is a polite way of saying very early. Discoveries like that sharpen our timeline of how the first bright beacons switched on and how the early universe fed black holes.
From the far past to the near future, NASA opened applications for a 12-month Moon-Mars analog mission, a full year simulating the travel and the surface living at Johnson Space Center.
It's a recruitment call for up to 4 participants to live through the constraints, limited resources, isolation, and mission-like routines. It's not a vacation. It's a way to practice for real missions, down to the small details that become big when months stretch on.
And in radio astronomy land, the FAST telescope picked up faint radio pulses from a pulsar, PSR J2238 plus 5903, and used that to estimate the distance to a nearby high-energy source. I love that. A whisper from a spinning star helps pin down a bright mystery.
It was a 3,000-second observation, very faint signals, and a distance estimate that helps map the source environment. Incremental, precise, and useful.
Scientific breadcrumbs leading to the bigger loaf. I'm here for it. Medicine brings some sturdy good news. The University of Bergen and the Norwegian Research Center licensed their enterotoxigenic E. coli vaccine platform to Valneva. The approach targets the bacterium's toxin, and development now moves toward trials and the regulatory path.
ETEC is a major cause of diarrheal disease. A platform license is a start, not an approval, but it's concrete momentum. It puts an experienced vaccine maker on the case.
And in the How We Study People file, scientists called for broadening human microbiome research beyond affluent Western populations. It's a reminder that health data should reflect the world if we want to understand it well.
That call out came from researchers who pointed to the skew in current data sets. Not a breakthrough, but a constructive nudge. Diversify the sampling, improve the science.
Sometimes the most positive step is simply choosing to look wider. It's how you make medicine that fits more lives. Sports next, and we'll start on grass. Linda Noskova, the Czech teenager, won Wimbledon in an all-Czech final, beating Karolina Mukova 6-2, 5-7, 6-3.
That final followed a semi, where Mukova survived match point against Coco Gauff to reach the championship match. The final itself went 3 sets, with Noskova closing it out.
That's a big one. First Grand Slam title, center court, your flag across the net. What a week for Czech tennis.
On the football side, a couple of tournament markers. Spain beat Belgium 2-1 to reach the World Cup semifinals. That's per AP's reporting. And Switzerland advanced to the quarterfinals after a penalty shootout win over Colombia, 4-3 after a scoreless draw, reported by Al Jazeera.
And Argentina delivered one of those late-turn thrillers, down 2-0 to Egypt and rallied to win 3-2 in the round of 16, getting themselves into the quarterfinals, as Yahoo Sports put it. ESPN later highlighted that Lionel Messi scored twice in the finish.
As always with tournament weeks, dates and matchups roll quickly. We're sticking to what the outlets reported. The common theme? Close matches, late drama, and some ice-cold penalties under pressure.
And someone somewhere losing their voice in the 89th minute. Sports, where your smartwatch begs you to calm down, and you absolutely do not. Culture and games. Reality TV crowns were placed this week. Trinity and Bryce won Love Island USA Season 8, taking home the $100,000 prize. The finale streamed on Peacock, with host Ariana Madix announcing the result.
A well-lit villa, a summer's worth of plot twists, and a confetti moment at the end. Not everything needs to be complicated. Sometimes it's just votes, finals, and a payday.
And a little happiness tax. You have to carry that big novelty check for photos. But seriously, congrats to the winners. That's a sunny finish for the season.
They survived the neon, the recouplings, and the microphones. Worth at least a sip of something with an umbrella in it.
You can take the anchor out of the newsroom, but you can't take the dry out of the humor. Anyway, happy endings stack up nicely this week. Let's talk jobs, building, and long bets. Micron Technology announced a $250 billion investment to expand domestic DRAM manufacturing in the United States. The company cited rising demand from AI data centers and other technologies, and the CEO said the funding would boost U.S. chip capacity and reduce reliance on foreign suppliers.
The number is extraordinary. It's a multi-year footprint expansion, anchored in the expectation that memory demand will stay heavy. The strategic angle is clear: more capacity at home.
On wheels and wrenches, Toyota pledged $3.6 billion to expand its San Antonio plant. Plant includes a second production line, roughly 2,000 jobs, and moving part of Tacoma production from Mexico to Texas. Doubling the plant's size, that's not just a facelift, that's a whole second garage.
That's a direct job story plus a supply chain shift. The details were reported by CNBC.
And a New York skyline note. American Express broke ground on 2 World Trade Center, a 55-story office tower set to rise 1,226 feet. City officials said the project will create jobs and give the local economy a boost. Construction is slated to finish in 2031.
Breaking ground is the tactile milestone. Shovels, renderings, and timelines. A long project, clearly, but a clear signal of commitment to building.
Meanwhile, a new savings idea took a bow. The U.S. Treasury and the IRS launched the Trump Accounts program, a child-focused, tax-advantaged savings vehicle. CNBC reported that each account opens with a $1,000 seed, and contributions up to $5,000 per year would be exempt from gift tax filing.
That's how it was described. Launched on Independence Day, with those contribution and filing details. And there was a private pledge alongside it. SpaceX president and COO Gwynne Shotwell announced a contribution of SpaceX shares to children's accounts, focusing on roughly 2 million accounts in Central Texas.
That's a rare double, a public program with a private boost. Whatever your zip code, kid-centered savings is a hopeful signal. It says the next generation matters enough to fund now, not someday.
As with any new program, the mechanics will matter: enrollment, guardrails, and long-term management. But the stated intent is straightforward: help families plant financial seeds early.
Climate and policy. 2 moves, one from the lab and one from the State House. Scientists at Scripps Institution of Oceanography modeled a technique called marine cloud brightening as a temporary way to temper severe El Niño episodes. The idea is to inject sea salt particles into low clouds to nudge them to reflect a bit more sunlight, modestly cooling the ocean surface.
Emphasis on modeled and temporary. This is not a deployment. It's a study exploring how such an intervention might behave in severe events. The goal isn't to replace emissions cuts. It's to understand a possible stopgap for extreme swings.
Information is power, especially when it's used carefully. And on the policy side, states including Michigan, Oregon, Minnesota, and Colorado introduced or enforced rules that large data centers get the majority of their electricity from renewable sources.
The motivation cited was the sharp rise in power use from AI and other digital workloads. Mandates like these are meant to keep growth tied to cleaner power. The specifics vary by state, but the direction is consistent.
If we're going to live in the cloud, it's nice to know more of that cloud runs on wind, sun, and good planning. Even a small % shift at that scale is like turning a cargo ship. Slow at first, but meaningful.
And verifying that the turn actually happens will be worth watching. But as a positive note, the expectations are being set.
That's our basket of Bright for the week. quiet rings at a friend's wedding, satellites to spot sparks before they spread, a new super Earth pin on the map, a teenager lifting a Wimbledon trophy, and some very large shovels breaking ground.
If your shoulders just dropped an inch, mission accomplished.
If you want more like this, only good news at your own pace, head to faxlane.com and grab the app on the App Store or Google Play. Flip on Zen mode for a calm feed that stays as upbeat as this show.
Low volume, high signal.
Thank you for spending time with us. Take good care of yourselves, have a great week, and we'll see you next week with more gentle winds and sturdy progress.
Until next time.